Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. When we think about celebrities, we think about movie stars, musicians, Kim Kardashian, who's famous for being famous. But my next guest is a man who says that everyone can be a celebrity. Kym Yancey, CEO and co-founder of eWomenNetwork. That has chapters all over the U.S. and Canada, more than 100 chapters. He's a longtime friend. Kym, welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Hey, great to be here. And listen, I have to say right from the beginning, I'm the second banana. I'm actually the president. The CEO is Mrs. Yancey.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about celebritizing your business, because I think that's something you're passionate about and have been for a while. What does that mean?
Jeff, entrepreneurs don't think of themselves as celebrities. You have people who have arisen to the height of celebrity status, so to speak. But I'm talking about it every day. And they don't understand that the difference between you as an entrepreneur and a superstar are there are 8 key points, and 5 of them the entrepreneur is already doing. Let me give you an example. Okay?
Yes, please.
An example. Like, the superstar has to hone their craft, right? Entrepreneur, same thing. You got to hone your craft. Who are you? All right. Next thing you got to do is you better be practicing and updating and studying. You can't just, the fact that you know something, you can't just rest on that. You have to constantly improve. So entrepreneur does that. So does the superstar. Next thing you have to do is you've got to hit the road. You just can't operate out of your home and think that the people are going to just come to you or walk up to you and knock on your door and say, hey, I've got business for you. So the superstar, they hit the road by going out and performing, right, in venues and nightclubs, those kinds of things. As an entrepreneur, where are we? Networking events, workshops, conferences. That's what we've got to do. Now, what happens next, right? Through that, you find your signature sound. Now, this is the most important thing, Jeff. Think about when you started this show, right, or anything, your career, right? It's in the doing that you discover who you really are.
Yes.
And you come up with the cadence of words, the things that, the entrepreneur discovers, gosh, I'm telling everyone that I do this or I do that, but they're not buying for me. Well, at some point, that entrepreneur's got to refine their pitch so people want to do business with them. All right, what's the superstar do? That's where they find their signature sound. I was in a band back in the late 70s, early 80s. And we had, on Capitol Records, it's called Sun. If anybody wants to have fun, just go to YouTube and put Sun on Soul Train, all right? I'm the drummer with the goatee, the big hair in the back, all right? So, but Jeff, the cool thing is that the first 2 albums, you're getting big deals with a record label, they did okay. But we found our signature sound on the 3rd album. You got what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, the entrepreneur, they find their signature message. Once they find their signature message, and man, I got something that works. Let's go. All right, so those are the 5 points where they're the same. All right. Now here's where things get messy. All right.
Okay.
The superstar, there are 3 things that happen. So not only do they find their signature sound, but what do? They get a record deal with Capitol Records, a record deal with Columbia Records. So they got a deal, which technically is distribution.
Right.
It's like distribution of their intellectual property, which is their songs, right?
Right.
And that's being played, every day on radio stations.
Right.
People are hearing you every day, and then finally those people turn into raving fans. All right? Entrepreneur, that's where it falls flat. But we're changing all that. There's a model for that. And I tell people all the time, Jeff, the first thing you've got to do is recognize that you are the expert in your category.
Can this be coached? So through eWomenNetwork, can somebody sign up to become a celebrity?
It's happening. In fact, Jeff, the interesting thing is we got so tired of people, what I call doing the piecemeal effect. All right, so I go over here and I have someone shoot a video for me. Great,
Right.
I did a video. Then I go over here and I have someone working on social media strategy for me. Then I go over here on the other side and I find someone working on digital ideas and my website and my presence.
Right.
And then someone else, I go to Jeff Crilley, all right, and get PR. The problem is they were all kind of disconnected. All right. So it's a little different because you're one of those rare people that has a global view of what you do. All right. So that is rare. But in this business is that we realize that helping our members, we had to help them through the entire process, think through the entire strategy. So I'll say to them, look, you have to recognize that you're the expert. You have to claim that, put your stake in the ground.
Right.
And people don't understand. It doesn't matter if someone else is doing what you do. It's beside the point. You know why? Because nobody knows about them either.
Right. That's true. That's
You
true.
understand?
But when I look at some of these iconic brands like the Tony Robbins of the world, I mean, these are people who created a brand for themselves. Tony didn't climb a mountain or cure cancer. He decided that he was going to become a brand, and now he's got an empire.
Got that firework walk down.
Somebody needs to hold his feet to the fire on that one. I'm telling
really.
you. So probably a bad example.
I got rid of all my charcoal.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying is that some of these people who have created brands for themselves, the Susie Ormans of the world, I mean, that's a person who you could learn something from.
Well, but here's the thing, too, I'll say. It doesn't matter either. You know why? I remember being at Capitol Records when we were doing our third album, and the president of Capitol Records said to me, he says, Kim, this is something don't ever forget this. He says, no matter how big the I Love You song of today is, the world wants a new one tomorrow. So here's my point. Doesn't matter how big Tony Robbins is. Doesn't matter about Susie Orman. It doesn't matter. The world wants new.
Yes.
It's always evolving, and it's fast. They want to hear a new voice. They want to hear a new style. They want a new love song.
Wow.
And that's what the entrepreneur brings. That's what I try to get across is you're that new love song. So claim that. And the other thing, Jeff, is I tell people is just you have to look at the relevancy of this moment in time. Right now, 20 years ago, while there was an internet, not an internet like today with high speed, connections. Today, you can be very relevant with a few thousand fans, not millions. A few thousand who are embracing you, buying from you, supporting you. You can have a great lifestyle. It's a land grab. And if you aren't grabbing your moment in time on the internet, you're making a foolish judgment.
Yes.
And and then the last thing is repetition. And you see this all the time in what you do is you just can't dabble in this. It's repetitive. You've got to do it repetitive. So what we do is we bring people in, Jeff, and go through their entire brand, cut really hot videos that are based on a strategy for them to create that celebrity. We take our strategy and buy ads on Facebook and other things that we do, and website and YouTube. And before you know it, all of a sudden, the person's saying, hey, a lot of people are talking about me now. All of a sudden, people are saying, wow, what happened to you? A new photo session. Like people are saying, oh, my God, you look unbelievable.
Kim, you are a branding genius. Kym Yancey, co-founder, president, chief marketing officer of eWomenNetwork. You have a big conference coming up. Tell us about the conference. Is it too late for people to buy a ticket?
Jeff, this is our 16th annual international conference, and it's the largest 4-day conference of its kind focused on women entrepreneurs. Lots of men come too. So it's not, while we celebrate the brilliance of women, men come as well that are doing business with women, But that is here in Dallas, Jeff, at the Intercontinental Hotel. We've had you speak in the past. You were a huge hit.
Thank you.
And but no, it's 4 days of just, I tell people it's like the ultimate business mall of resources. If you could think of every resource you need in your business to help you succeed, they're all there for 4 days to give and to support you and to network with you.
And I can honestly say I've been to this conference now probably for year after year for more than a decade. It is unlike any conference I've ever attended, and at one point I was speaking 300 times a year. I mean, it's an experience. Get your rest because you're up for 4 days of just high energy networking and sharing.
Yeah, it is. It's extraordinary. I'm always touched personally myself because what I love is to see someone who's from Chicago meet up with someone that's in Orange County, and they didn't know each other before, and all of a sudden a year later, they've made $100,000, $200,000 together. New ideas. They're vacationing. They're visiting each other in other cities. That's what the human connection and the power of what it means to step outside your zone, get out of your backyard, right? And meet new people. Magic happens when that happens.
Let me, as we're closing this segment, what do you say to the entrepreneur who says, well, I don't want to be a celebrity. That's too self-serving. It's not about me. I need to be more of a servant leader. What do you say to that person?
That's a mindset issue. No, I first of all, fortunately, what I explain to people is that don't misinterpret celebrity as like, oh, I'm being conceited.
Right.
I'm self-serving. No, this is about breaking through. And the fact of the matter is that the term celebrity is about setting you apart. So, you can use all kinds of words for it, but we like to get, cut through the chase and get right to what it really is. It is. And we use science because there is so much science behind everything we do. It's a lot of stats, a lot of statistics, a lot of things that we're, today, Jeff, it's about evaluating things not in what happened over the week. It's really what happened in the last 6 hours.
Yes.
It's daily, like looking and course correcting. So there's a lot of science behind this today.
I tell people that, in the year 2016, it's not just enough to toot your own horn. You got to get an orchestra tooting the horn, because there's so much noise out there that if you're not promoting yourself, your competition is running circles around you. Would you agree?
I mean, totally. You've people have this tendency, Jeff, to go inward, and they're like their own trial, judge, and jury. There are so many blind spots that we all have, and I'm telling you, not one of them. I don't care if it's Lionel Richie. I don't care who Coldplay or whoever the superstar is. They've got people around them and helping them constantly course correct, constantly reassess, who are looking at them and saying, "Look, I see your blind spot. You don't. These are the areas that you need to focus on." So it is about team, and I hear this all the time when people are saying to me, they'll say to me, "I'm so glad I was accepted into your celebrity science program because I was alone."
Yes.
I need someone around me to help me think through these moves and to see what I don't see in myself.
Kim, this was a great segment. How do people get a hold of you? What's the website?
You can go to celebrityscience.com, see some of the things we're doing. Celebrityscience.com, and remember the what do they say, the I before E except after C.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Science. All right. So, but there, or eWomenNetwork.com.
Awesome. Kym Yancey, thank you so much. We'll have to have you back.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. When we come back, move over J.R. Ewing, a man who grew up on the original South Fork. Some of his unbelievable stories just ahead on the Jeff Crilley Show.
More of the Jeff Crilley Show coming up.